And we may not have the answer to all of them right now, right? There's a lot of questions that relate to, okay, well, how did we come here? How did that all go? The origin of that really is, okay, we were looking to open this business, to mine it.
I'm sorry, what's your name and what's your relation to
Sure.
the company?
What company?
My name is John Delar.
Can you spell that, please?
JONDALAR.
Thank you.
And I'm with Alpha Watt LLC, and I manage operations for the site.
Can you spell that?
Could you repeat the company?
Alpha Watt,
Alpha?
Alpha,
Alpha what?
ALPHAWATT.
LLC?
Yep. So a lot of questions surrounding sound and how we came to be here. It's our first mining operation. It's a new venture for us. We haven't done this before. So a lot of the things that we're running into and the questions that we're hearing are also things that we're hearing for the first time. Now, when we started this, the first thing that you need to do is you need to go look for power, because that's what drives that whole operation, essentially, power usage. So we reached out to brokers, okay, we've been all over the country, essentially, looking for, okay, where can we get this amount of power? That's the first question that we reached out to brokers, eventually got into Sault Ste. Marie in Michigan, and said, okay, where are the substations located here? That's when we reached out to the utility to essentially look for, okay, well, where can you even, if the power is even available, where can you get it to the site? That's the origin of this. And then as far as the application process goes, there isn't really a true application process. So there's not really okay, you declare yourself as such and such and such. I think, this question's come up a couple times. We submitted our drawing. This is what it's going to look like. Can we approve that? That's essentially how that went. It got approved, and that was essentially the end of that. And as far as the noise that's coming off this, I think that's a major concern that everybody has. We realize that there is noise coming off this. We're not, suggesting there's absolutely no noise. That's not what we're trying to say here. And yes, we have these decibel readings, which are similar to what we've heard here tonight, between 60, 70, depending on sort of where you are. We're not there to have that a permanent problem. As somebody else asked, have we been able to successfully dampen that sound anywhere else that we're doing this? We haven't, because it's the first time we're doing it. Do we know of people that have mitigated that sound completely? No. Do we want to mitigate the sound for the school and the entire area, for that matter? Yes, we do. We would like to keep that to a minimum in any way which possible. We have discussed also when we were at the school to potentially put up fencing. Now that we're here this week, we're also looking at, okay, maybe something like a berm to keep it more natural that could potentially dampen the sound. So we'll work with engineers, see what this looks like, see how we can all get to something that we can all agree on. And, we're happy to come to the next meeting as well to essentially finalize what that's going to look like. If everybody wants to, be in the know of this, we can share these details with commission, findings of what we think can work there. there's all sorts of things we can do. And, we want to work with you all to make this less of a problem. Another question that I heard was surrounding water. We currently don't use water at the site at all. Correct. The only reason why we are looking to get water in is to, so on the sides of these containers, there are things that they call water curtains. They are essentially meant for cooling whatever's there. That's what they're used for. There's not a constant flow of water that goes through there. So it's not like we're drawing water constantly. It simply reflows, cycles throughout the whole thing. It doesn't go back into the system. It doesn't do anything like that. Very little water that is even used.
You also mentioned that these machines weren't going to run constantly.
That's correct, and they're not. So I believe.
So it would be not peak hours, not when the
Correct.
schools and business, it would be in the evenings and the night when power usage is less. But now I have to take your word that you're going to say we're not going to constantly use water.
So when we came to the school board meeting, we explained just that they wouldn't be running constantly, which is true. So we have, based on our contract, we have what's called interruptible power, meaning if Pluralin decides, hey, it's a peak time right now, you need to, or we expect that it is going to be a peak time at whatever hour, we get notified and we actually shut it down. Or we can stay within a certain power usage, very minimal, and they tell us basically to shut down the entire site for however long that they're telling us to do that.
Sir, I have you on the list for coming back. Let's let them finish and we'll circle back and do whatever we're done. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what we're trying to do with water there. Yeah, we want to get water in there. It's something that we're looking at right now, which is also part of why we're here this week. We have to map out what exactly this is all going to look like so that we know where to put possible fencing in place, what that looks like, what it's going to surround, what do we need to keep in mind with this water coming in. A lot of things that we need to keep in mind. Go ahead.
I think that, just to keep it going, what is the EMF?
Yeah, Jamie, if you could maybe speak that up.
Yeah, so if I could just do a little introduction, my name is Jamie Kritika. I'm from Frankfort, Michigan, just south of Traverse City. I live in Chicago now. I went to law school in Chicago and worked in the finance business there, became involved with this group for some of my finance activities and took it on as a special project, as a consultant, et cetera. So I'm just kind of catching up with it. But I can tell you that in 1974, I started working on environmental issues as a kid in high school. And this is really one of the greatest crowds that I've seen. I love the questions. I was, you guys know, I was kind of clapping at some of these questions because it was really so fun to hear you guys voice, what really concerns you. It hits home. And I just want you to know from bottom of my heart, that touches me. That hits me. We realize it. We get it. I certainly get it. And so I'm going to make sure that Bob has my name and my personal number so that you guys can contact me whenever you want. Because I love it up here. Been coming up here since 1966. I've been coming up here. Went to school in Marquette for a couple of years too. So anyway, it does matter to me. Your thoughts, your concerns do matter to me, and so we do want to address them when we can. In terms of EMF, the electromagnetic field, there's different kinds of EMF, right? There's electrical fields and there's magnetic fields, and so they combine them and they call them EMF. There's radiative, there's ionic radiation that comes from certain kinds or certain frequencies of electromagnetic fields, when it's disturbed, when it's increased, and there's non-ionic, right? And this falls into the rubric of non-ionic. And so notwithstanding some of the reports that you've seen, I've got dozens and dozens of reports from the American Cancer Society, so on and so forth. But, you know, they claim that there's no harm. On the other hand, when I bought my house in Chicago, the first thing I did was I run the trails there, and the one trail was underneath high tension wires. So the first thing I did was go and look at, should I be running underneath those high tension wires for 6 miles or 10 miles at a time? I decided I'm not going to, right? In the studies that I've seen, standing underneath a high tension wire is where it's the worst, okay? Because high tension wires don't have that insulation, so you've got electrons moving around, okay? That's where it's the worst. A computer, they call them mining, we'll talk about that later, but a computer is at the very low end of the spectrum of non-ionic radiation. It's very, very, very low. It doesn't mean that it can't change your DNA, right? What you eat changes your DNA. You have over 6 billion bacteria in your body. Tell me that doesn't affect your DNA. Everybody does. So there's a lot of issues here to be concerned with. I'm really, truly concerned with them all. EMF as a radiation has been studied for over 3 decades. And the World Health Organization and all of those organizations, American Institute of Oncologists, have all deemed it, we don't know yet. We just don't know. And there's not enough evidence. I'll address your questions in a second, okay? So they just don't know yet. There's nothing definitive. It's going to continue to be studied. It's going to be studied for the next 3, 4, 5 decades. They're not going to know. Okay? So it's out there. I get it. I think the biggest issue is, keeping a distance. But please don't conflate the noise you hear, which I was out there today for the first time. It's noisy, right? I get it. And in fact, that's the first thing I told John Gillard, is that I get the concern here. This is really pretty bad. And I was in Iceland at a warehouse full of servers, 18 warehouses full of servers in Keflavik, and I had to wear the noise canceling earphones, the airport earphones and stuff like that. It was brutal right there. Inside a building, not so bad. If you're outside a building, not so bad. So what I'm proposing to do, and what I'm suggesting to the folks that John Delore works with and I'm consulting with now, I have 3 sets of engineers that are going to look at this. And these are not cheap engineers. These are, one engineer is on my staff. I do bioremediation of soil for one of my other companies. So I've got an engineer on staff. I've got an engineering firm in New Orleans where they've done Bitcoin mining facilities before. They've done data center mining facilities before, which is different than Bitcoin mining, and I'll talk to you about that as part of if you want to change the rules, change the ordinances, don't say Bitcoin mining per se, right? You got to expand it to something more. But anyway, it's more of a legal issue. So I've got 3 sets of engineers. We're going to sit down. We're going to go through it. I've got Copper Rock Construction in Grand Rapids ready to go. I was on the phone with them all day, off and on all day today, to take a look at it and see whether we put up a building. So I think the berm idea is really good. I crawled down into your ditch on the outside of the school just so I could see, if the noise level was down on that side. It was, but that's a pretty good idea. That's not bad, and it's a lot prettier than a cement wall. So we're going to be looking at a lot of things. In 60 days or so, whenever you have the next meeting, I hope to have 3 or 4 different options that I want to talk to you guys about, and I'll be here personally for that. I can commit to being here for it. I'm up here a lot anyway. Depends on whether Sam and I are running by then or not. We'll see. But so I'll be up there for that. We'll talk about it. I'll show you the options. We'll go through those, and we'll come to some conclusions. And then when we do, I'm going to have you guys sign off on it and say, yeah, we were a part of the decision making, because I need you to be part of it. I want you to be part of it. Yes, ma'am.
So my concern not only is that when I try to find Alphabet, I can't find a website, I can't find any business files. When I look at the landowner, it's Odessa Industries LLC, and not only that, the obvious answer to turning down the noise for now even would be, turn down your performance. Servers don't need to run that high. Like, if you can't turn down the sound, then turn down your performance so the fans don't have to run that high.
Take that under advisement. But what we're saying is we're gonna be able to turn down the sound. This is the first, a lot of us are kind of hearing of the sort of the depth of this, which I think is great, the grassroots of it. Give me 60 days. Let me come up with some serious options. They're gonna be costly options. It's gonna cost us a lot of money to do it, but if we're in here, we'll change it. No.
Do you have a website?
I'm sorry?
Is it money you're gonna be losing?
No.
Yeah.
No, we'll fix it. We'll fix it.
Dr. Shua.
Are you going to expand that corner?
No.
No, that's all.
I don't know yet. I mean, I really don't know yet. Give me 60 days. We don't get 60 days?
Sorry.
All right, let's.
All right, so-
Have the floor right now, let's go right now, you don't see us. Come up next.
Wait, is there one John Dwyer, Alpha Y.
So, you're registered in Florida?
It's inactive, I just looked at your LLC, it says inactive for Alphabet.
That's where I live, right?
No, it's
in Delaware.
Delaware.
But it's a foreign LLC, that's not correct. It's a foreign LLC.
That owns Awful Lot.
You tell me.
Well,
Foreign means it does business in a state different than the state that it's registered in. So that's, foreign doesn't mean a different country. Right, yes. Yeah, Bob.
You have the floor, sir.
Yeah, no, I mean, I just, everybody's walking out, and I appreciate the fact that you were here and got your questions out to us. Give me a chance to get them answered. We're gonna do the best we can. And we're out there now. We're gonna do the best we can, and we'll get you some solutions here in a little bit.
Why can't you turn them off until you get a solution just to try to help? If you're really that concerned about the sound and you said it was that bad, why can't you just turn them off for 60 days until you come back with a solution you said you wanted us to solve and to be on board? I think all of us would probably be on board to have it shut down until we.
You would be on board to have it shut down permanently, right?
No, I'm saying,
Right,
if
and if that's what you-
you want to come
yeah.
on board on it, we could turn it off and go. You said you don't have an answer now, that's understandable. But if it's gonna take you 60 days to get there, and you can't change anything,
Not
then
really.
you shut it down temporarily until you come back with a solution.